This video is to show the movement exploration for session 4. The video series will start with some basic movements. This first movement will start with same side movements. And from here, once we understand the relationship of right arm, right leg, left arm, left leg, we'll take it into cross-lateral movement. Actually, no, we're going to stay same side. So now we're actually in movement, and it's right side moves together, right arm, right leg moves together, frontwards and backwards. So that's same side, arm and leg moving, kind of blocky. So see how that feels for your body to go forward and backward. Then we're going to go cross-lateral. So right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. So this mimics the movement of a child learning how to crawl. Laying on your back, legs towards the sky, doing leg circles. This is working to reinforce finding a free and balanced pelvis, and to feel how to relate the pelvis to the lumbar spine. So starting out with circles, small circles, gradually getting larger and larger. Going in one direction, and then you'll switch directions. Small circles, making them larger and larger. The intent of this again is to relate the legs to the lumbar, to the pelvis and the lumbar spine. Rolling on to your side, it's lateral leg lifts or medial leg lifts. And you might be able to see how my leg is coming forward a little bit. Ideally, you can see it more when I switch to the other side. We want that leg coming up more in a neutral pattern. So you'll see I'll start and my leg is way in front of the midline of my body. And at some point, I realize that. There we go, and I bring it back. So for you, noticing, does your leg tend to travel forward, backward, and take a moment to correct that and find more of a middle area. You want your leg to come up right up the middle. Again, lying on your back, both knees up, rolling knees side to side. And knee circles, rotating your knees around in a circle. These are all to support the hip opening. Rotating those knees around in one direction and then switch and go in the other direction. Coming up to seated, soles of your feet together into a yoga pose. Baddha Konasana, opening up your adductors, coming up tall through your spine and leaning forward, You can use your elbows to push the knees out. This is from a different angle, coming up tall through the spine, using my elbows to help open that medial leg. Just gently pushing out, keeping it comfortable, but just allowing some more opening. Back down on the back, arms out, pushing down through the heels to bring the pelvis up. As you press down through those heels, pushing forward with your knees, bringing the hips up, and then rolling one vertebrae at a time to bring that spine back down. Pressing down through those heels, out through the knee, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Hip opening. Coming up to standing, working on squats, hands in prayer position. As you squat down, the goal is to touch your elbows to your knees. Noticing your alignment. Where do you feel any restrictions, or how open does it feel? And finally, a roll down, chin to chest, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping your head heavy, slowly articulating each vertebrae, ragdoll hang, pushing down through those heels to come back up. The head is the last to come up, and finding that extension. Again, chin to the chest, rolling down, thinking about each vertebrae opening as you slowly roll forward. Letting gravity slowly bring you down. Ragdoll hang. Pushing down through those heels, coming up slowly. Your head is the last piece to come up. Pressing down through the heels, finding that extension. Moving into a forward walking lunge. Lunge forward, back knee comes down. Lunge forward, back knee comes down. Feet lined up with the hips, arms overhead. It's an overhead squat. Noticing if your arms come forward, are you able to keep them open? Do they want to fall down? How does this feel in your body to do this movement? The goals of today's session for session 4 was to free and balance the pelvis, release the medial and anterior thigh from the pelvis, find the direction out through the knee, and begin establishing the front back inside outside leg balance. And through these movements here with leg swings, front back side to side, and rotation of the hip, all of those goals are being reinforced. Swinging your leg back and forth, side to side, looking for balance, ease of movement, and opening the hip. And that's the end of session 4.